All right, focus up.
There's no vice in this book at all. What's the point of this? Oh, hi. My name is Patrick Smith, and I'm the host and curator of this here movie club. And I'm more than excited to introduce you to yet another film that I love from last year. And that would be Olivia Wilde's directorial debut, Booksmart, starring Caitlin Dever and Beanie Feldstein. They're both fantastic actors, and I think this film truly does something special with a genre that arguably has been done to death, and that's the coming-of-age film.
Fair townspeople, I swear to God.
It has a lot in common with the 80s John Hughes movies, as well as recent years, the Haley Steinfeld starring The Edge of 17. If you haven't seen that, that's another fantastic film to check out. But tonight we're here to talk about Booksmart, because Booksmart is not just a great film, it also has quite a bit of interesting history to it.
Like, why do we make movies as opposed to documentaries? Why make a narrative feature? And I think it has to be because you're going to use the tools of cinema to illustrate the human condition in a way that cannot be told through a kind of a literal lens in storytelling. You cannot see it, we must show it, we must paint it for you and show it to you.
The script was started 10 years prior to its premiere last year in theaters in the summer of 2019. But the script goes all the way back to 2009, the original draft.
Katie Silberman wrote the most genius script.
Our queen.
And even there was our script, right? But then each day included 50 different alt. But the
And she just gets like the humor of this generation in a way. Like all the genius quotable lines from the movie are all like so Katie Silberman, and like will live on and be this kind of like time capsule of this time.
But this film also has quite a few other ideas in it that are reminiscent of an older film. You might have heard of it. The Jonah Hill starring Superbad. At first blush, not only does it seem like a lot of these ideas line up with this movie, ironically enough, Jonah Hill and Beanie Feldstein are siblings in real life. So these two movies are kind of two peas in a pod. Whilst they are made multiple years apart, it's nice to see that the coming-of-age genre has gone from slightly sleazy boy coming-of-age film to slightly sleazy girl coming-of-age film. And whilst there's a lot of places that we can move forward in this genre and introduce new and different perspectives in the coming-of-age film, I think what this movie does is incredibly special.
Superbad is a forever movie. That's what I always say. And to be a forever movie is like no easy feat. It's not only a critical response, but it's like a deep love and a wanting to rewatch. And I think the movie is so celebrated because of its love and celebration of male friendship, really showing male friendship at that age in a really sweet, like loving, sincere light within this like raucous, joyous comedy with so many great jokes. But it's not about the jokes.
Because not only does it analyze the different cliques of high school, it also breaks down those tropes as it interrogates them. It shows the jocks, the geeks, the theater kids, all for the tropes they typically are, but also gives them depth and wonder and beauty. You might have an opinion about the jock characters at the beginning, that they're just stupid jocks, just like the jocks that were at your high school. But this film doesn't leave you with that. It forces you to look deeper and see the human that's at the heart of that stereotype. And I think that's something that this film does incredibly well. It also has a lot more heart than the typical coming-of-age film, as it gives perspective to people that are typically side characters, like in older films like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and much of John Hughes' output. I mean, going back to The Breakfast Club, which is definitely a touching point for Booksmart, the main character and the main characters of that movie are the men, without a doubt. They definitely have the most to change, and they have the most interesting backstories, and they're the ones that Hughes focuses on. That's not the case here with Olivia Wilde's Booksmart. We get to see two nerds that have gone their entire lives in high school trying to make up for the lack of partying they've done during the time that they spent studying. All that time they spent studying trying to get into Harvard and their Ivy League school of choice. So did all the other kids, the kids that didn't study, the kids that partied. And so they take back this one last night before their graduation to party it up, to live it up as they could have the entire time that they were in high school.
We have to go to a party tonight.
What?
Let's go to Nick's party.
Are you kidding? No, no way.
Amy, we only have one night left to have studied and partied in high school. Otherwise, we're just gonna be the girls that missed out. We haven't done anything. We haven't broken any rules.
I think that's such an interesting premise, and it was something that caught my eye when I saw the trailer last year and made me really want to go see it. Though this film might have its faults, I think it's the relationships in this movie and the care that these two characters genuinely do have for each other, despite the fact that they are on diverging paths, that I think truly sells this movie for the up-and-coming classic that it is.
And in Booksmart, it's like, no, these are two women that love each other, and whenever, moments of love or crushes come into the conversation, they're like, go get them, I love you, I'm so proud of you, I want you to have this experience. And I think that is, that's really, really special, especially between a queer character and a straight character and a female friendship.
No.
Not acceptable.
This is not okay.
Who allowed you to be this beautiful?
Who allowed you to be this beautiful?
Who allowed you to take my breath away?
And so, without further ado, I'm just going to shut up, and I'm going to let you enjoy this brilliant comedy, because there's nothing I can really tell you that you probably don't know already, because if you haven't seen this movie, you are about to sit back and relax and watch a genuine classic in the making. And so without any further ado, here is Booksmart.